Welcome to the ArmaniTalks podcast. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this podcast, I'm helping you level up your 5 soft skills: public speaking, storytelling, social dynamics, emotional intelligence, and creativity. 5 soft skills for you to change your life forever, skyrocket your confidence along the way. In today's episode, we're going to be answering the question, can personalities change? I was reading this biography by Shaquille O'Neal. Since he wrote it, it's an autobiography. And I love autobiographies because these people are so capable of being honest. You see the ups, you see the downs, and you get to perceive these celebrities from a completely different light. I'm a huge NBA fan. I've been watching it since the 2000s. And in the 2000s, Shaquille O'Neal was one of the most dominant players that I had ever seen. He was big, he was fast, he was ferocious. And as an adult, I recalled back to those 2000 moments, and I was thinking, how is it that Shaquille O'Neal didn't retire as the greatest player of all time? What happened? So I continued to read this book, and I continued to get Shaquille O'Neal's honest insights. In the early part of his career, the man was a party animal. He was consistently throwing these social events, going to parties, hanging out with other people. And he didn't even drink. He didn't do any drugs. He just loved being around people. You can tell that he was a very extroverted individual. But as the book progressed, he started to highlight his journey of going from team to team to team. And by the time that he was in the end of his career and he was playing in the Celtics, he said around this stage, he was more of a loner. After practice, he would go straight to his hotel, he would watch TV, and call it a day. And as I'm reading the book, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a big transformation. You went from being heavily extroverted to out of nowhere becoming heavily introverted. But that's where I was mistaken. It didn't just happen out of nowhere. Instead, it was a gradual change. See, here's what I've noticed. A lot of introverts secretly ask the question, hey, do you think there's any chance that I could be more extroverted? But I've never heard the opposite question being asked, where an extrovert comes up and is like, hey, do you think there's any way I could be more introverted? What's ironic regarding all of this is that often extroverts, as they add more years onto their life, they start to become more introverted naturally. It's not like something is happening to them. It's just that life often makes us more introverted in nature as we progress. Not for everyone, but this is a pattern that I've noticed in multiple people. People who used to be highly extroverted at one point, later on in their life, they prefer being solo. They need a little bit more time to recharge after an interaction, and they need to decompress, right? So the answer is yes, personalities can change, and often it's going to happen organically. Can an introvert turn into an extrovert? Absolutely. All you have to do is stay at events a little bit longer, or schedule back-to-back events. Where there's a will, there's a way. And of course, personality is a field of forces, and you can mold it to your desires, whatever your desires are, whatever your North Star is. Just understand that personality is malleable. If you want to understand more about the personality, the difference between being introverted, extroverted, and being the mythical ambivert, you definitely want to check out my book, The Charisma King. In this book, you're going to learn a lot about social skills, what exactly is the personality, how you can evolve your personality towards a shared vision, along with plenty of other cool topics that you are never going to find on Google. Sound interesting? If so, check out The Charisma King in the link in the description box, or go on ArmaniTalks.com and grab your copy today. Thank you very much for joining the Armani Talks podcast, and I'll catch you next time.